Hi everyone, welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade miniseries, Undead in Dallas. We're really excited to have you all join us today. So I'm going to introduce our players, starting from how I see you on my screen. First up is Alex.
Hey everybody, I am Alex Hillman. I'm one of the partners here at the Bear Pen and also a writer, developer, brand manager over at Hunters Entertainment. So those are probably the places you know me from. I'm on a few different streams, including Vampire Blood on the Bayou here on the Bear Pen and Outbreak Rag and Bone over on Hunters Entertainment. But for this game, Undead in Dallas, I am playing the coterie's resident Nosferatu tech. At this point, we're trying to look into a little bit of a disappearance issue with one of my fellow clanmates, and yeah, we ran into some interesting stuff in the last session, so I'm kind of curious to see where things end up panning out here.
Excellent. Dom?
Hey guys, I'm Dominic. I am also a partner here at the Bear Pen. A aspiring artist. I do a bunch of weird, odd little things though around, that just depending on what's needed. And I play in a couple of these games, obviously. I'm playing Rich, Vampire La Sombra, trying to sort of figure out what tools he has under his belt, and that's not been going that great. So we'll see how today fares.
Perfect. Brandon?
Hi everyone, my name is Brandon. I go on the interwebs by the DMB or DMB Gaming. You can find me most active on Twitter. I'm in a ton of streams on my own channel where I run a Pathfinder First Edition game over at the Bard's Playhouse on Fridays and Saturdays for two separate Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition games, one where I play a Nosferatu named Cassius, and the other where I run a chronicle set in 2010 London before the Second Inquisition burned the city to the ground. What else? That's really where you can find me. Tonight, though, I am playing Maximus Habitus, the La Sombra Masquerade enforcer and unfortunate tutor of Rich. So he's just kind of confused as to how some of this information has gotten missed, seeing as he has a benefactor that is has the largest spy network in the city and can't seem to figure out what's going on. So good or bad?
Either or. Anne?
Hi, everybody. My name is Anne Pierce, and I'm a player and a GM, and I write games, and you can find those over at Inkborn Studio if you want to check it out. Today, I'm playing Rhea, the Tremere vampire who's kind of new in town and may or may not have her own agenda.
We'll have to see. And last but not least, Cassie.
Hello, I'm Cassidy. You can find me on Twitter at awkwardcassidy_. I am also a partner here on the Bear Pen. I do Blood on the Bayou and other such things. And today I am playing Dr. Alice Smith, the Malkavian who tries to keep everything together and slowly splitting apart.
Is the nature of this campaign at times. But please welcome and join us. My name is Ari. I am a community manager and partner over here at the Bear Pen. I play Elijah Smith on Blood on the Bayou, as well as storytelling for this. You can find me on Twitter, the Small Shadow Snack. It is a bunch of possums, entirely possums. So just a warning for that. But for now, we're going to start our intro for episode 2 of our chronicle. This scene will take place the same night as the investigation began. Maximus, you were going to make a phone call.
Yes. So after talking with the keeper of Elysium, and out of respect for him, forewarning him that I was going to be going back on my word to not speak with the Seneschal about this matter. So that is where the next phone call goes. Just a flip burner phone, absolutely lowest tech you can possibly have. Probably one of the few contacts that are actually saved in there is the Seneschal. That's who I'm calling.
The phone rings 3 times before being picked up. And the voice on the other end of the line is a deep masculine voice with a very slight German lilt to it. I was expecting you to call me.
Was it for the reason that I am calling, or is there something that I've forgotten about tonight?
The reason I have been expecting you to call me is the same reason why you're calling me.
Then you're aware of the disappearance of this Nosferatu.
Yes, I am aware.
And are you also aware of who our coterie coterie, yes, that is what we are, who we encountered?
That information I have not gotten yet, although I am assuming Mateo, if you told him, is going to text me. But pray tell, who did you run into?
Another of my kin that should have not been in the city. Goes by the name of Remy. Storyteller, I forgot his last name. Some long French name.
You hear the sound like he has put the receiver like away from him for a second before putting it back and goes, yes, I am aware of this one from a long time ago. Was he heading out or staying?
As far as I was able to tell, he was just passing through the city. Wrong place, wrong time, as he said it.
I highly doubt that, knowing him.
As did I, just based on my first impression. He also said that you would be able to tell me about him.
Oh, that one. He is particularly problematic at times. You did not engage in combat with him, yes?
The thought crossed my mind, but seeing the amount of power he wielded, even in his tenebrous form, was enough to deter me.
That was a wise decision. Do not engage in combat with him. He is, how do I put this? There is a madness about him.
Such is the way of most of the followers. They call themselves the Sword of Cain.
This is different.
Should I not concern myself about him, I would rather not have the information then.
Don't concern yourself. I will ask around and throw this off to Azra if he's still in the city.
It may be important to also notify the sheriff. I understand how lightly we handle sect boundaries here, but a Sabbat being in the city and being able to roam freely, well, who's to say they don't simply breed into another pack and try to claim their own territory?
That's crossed my mind. I will inform her.
Very good. Speaking of the sheriff, or whoever so you might think is going to be better for this job, I have, well, I don't have, we have in possession the blood of said Nosferatu that is missing. So we could use someone who has the talent to study and perhaps use it to track whoever it belongs to.
Take it to Ash tomorrow night. If she cannot, I know she will go to the primogen of their clan.
As you say, sir. Anything else that I can help you with tonight before I find the next poor soul that becomes my meal?
Not tonight. Go and have your meal. But keep me informed.
Your grace and charity towards me are always appreciated, and despite what any of the other members of the council of this city say, I will always report back to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Maximus.
Good night, Seneschal.
Good night. And he hangs up the phone.
And yeah, so next Maximus would just be going out to find some poor schmuck on the street to beat up and grab a bite.
Sounds like a plan. So the following night, you all awaken. Please make your rouse checks for the evening.
Apparently Max's beast is insatiable these nights. Back to hunger
I
too.
wake up hungry. So hungry.
For that one, we just roll
Hungry.
one dice pool, right?
Mhm.
Success.
Hey, Rich is not hungry.
Lots of corpses the night before.
Tech's
Overfull.
hungrier, but he's only at hunger 2. It's not that bad.
Not that bad. Where all do you guys wake up tonight?
Tech's definitely down in his personal haven. So he's down in the sewers.
Rest-
Yeah, Maximus uses the shared haven. He doesn't particularly have his own, and the church is, well, since he is technically clergy, his lodging is paid for by the church.
Alice would probably stay at the coterie haven as well. It's just easier than having to travel from anywhere else. It's close to everything she needs to be near to begin with. So
Maria and Rich?
I imagine normally it would have been very normal for him to find himself at the Haven for a night, but in this case, because it's not too far away anyways, he probably went to his own little hidey hole.
Okay.
In the morgue, that's the right word, I think, right?
His little hidey hole.
Yeah.
Does the morgue have one of those garages where you can pull in the hearse?
I would imagine so.
Cool. Then I pulled in the van, and in the back of my van, I have one of those beds in the back, but it flips up, and there's actually a light, tight compartment inside there that I sleep.
Excellent. So, beginning of the evening, Maximus, you receive a text on your phone from the sheriff.
Hmm.
It says, "Heard you needed to speak to me about something."
Ever so slowly on my T9 keyboard, I type back, yes. Please come to mass. We can speak afterwards.
It takes a few moments, and you get a, "I will be there in half an hour. I am currently in the middle of something."
I send back K period.
She does not respond back to you.
But yeah, so he would be just, making sure that all the preparations for daily mass are getting ready. Communion, wafers, and wine, and all of that good stuff are being prepared.
Heck, you were going to go through that drive you found?
Yeah, that's how Tech's going to be starting off his evening. Since he has gotten back to his haven here, he's actually going to go ahead and take a specific laptop that he has down in the haven. Um, Basically, all the networking has been gutted out of it, so that there isn't any kind of chance of it being able to connect to any kind of online service. Should there be anything on the actual drive itself, and that's where he's going to do his data forensics from.
Okay, go ahead and roll me that technology roll.
Five successes.
This takes you a little longer than it normally would. You get the feeling that it's probably because the drive's a little damaged. You're having to work a little harder at getting the information off there, but you do eventually access it. Patrick did not have a very good file system set up. Things are kind of everywhere. There's folders, there's items that were just everywhere. Not a good look for someone who is into tech.
Yeah,
Most
it
of
grates at Tech's soul a little bit just seeing that, and this is why we need TrackNet back.
most of the items on the drive are Word documents that he's written, little things. They're not labeled. It takes you some time to sift through it, and you're just like, no, this is not useful, not useful, not useful. You do find a entire folder. This one is labeled dedicated to his families, who he has taken many photos of. It is a tiny cinnamon colored rat. Just many photos on the drive. You get a sense he's very fond of it. The other thing you do eventually come across is a Word document that he has been typing notes on. And they're not complete sentences. Talk to K. Following a lead. Need to update K. Like, it's very haphazard. Did Rhea give Tech the flash drive?
I believe so, yeah.
Are you going to look into that?
Yeah.
You put it in. The entire flash drive is full of audio recordings. You, as you're listening to a few, get the sense that Tech was not a typer. Tech liked to record his thoughts, or not Tech, Patrick liked to record his thoughts. As you're listening through them, about 2 weeks ago, because he does date them, the first one says, Keeper called me to his office. I have been put on a task of finding out something. He thinks there's Second Inquisition in town. And you can tell this is taken as he's walking somewhere. You can hear like the occasional drive-by of a car. General street traffic, it's nothing overpowering. Doesn't want me to tell the sheriff, doesn't want me to tell the Scourge. Can't tell Sam or Rose. I'm on my own for this one. And you keep clicking through and it's like random updates. Checked this building, no luck. Haven't heard anything. I'll update him later. Sent Toast in to look at a building. Looks like they aren't there either. Possibly could have been. And then you get to one from roughly a week ago. Yes, the rat is named Toast. He sounds panicked. If you get the feeling, since Patrick's kind of young, is he's just mimicking the sound of being out of breath out of habit more than he's actually out of breath. Well, that was not what I was expecting. Crap, I've got to tell the keeper. Found him. Yeah, I found him. They're gonna be hard to get to, but I found them. You can hear his footfall as he's walking. I think they've got help. Gotta figure out who. I hope it's not who I think it is. And then the one from right the day before he disappeared, because the keeper was supposed to hear from him on one day. It's the day he disappeared. Yeah, it's who I thought it was. It's who I thought it was. It's who I thought it was. Well, crap. I need to tell the keeper. I need to tell the keeper. I need to tell the keeper. And it ends.
Heh. Well, Tech's gonna go ahead and start kind of rummaging some things together at that point, and he'll pull out his burner phone and send a text off to probably each of the coterie members, and just says, "I'll be at the house in 15," and packs his stuff up and starts making his way through the tunnels to get to the coterie haven and touch base with them.
Excellent. Rhea and Rich, are you guys gonna head to the coterie haven after you've woken up?
Oh yeah, I'll totally help set up for Mass. And Max, if it's cool, if I can set up the van in the front and, I have a big sign, help the community donations. Like it's kind of, not specific, but specific. If people want to like donate for a blood drive for the community while they're here for Mass, I mean, what could be more Christian and loving for the community, if that's cool?
Yes, of course, Ria. I will also need you to have the donations that we received last night ready, as the pickup will be here this evening to get them.
Oh, totally no problem. I'll have those ready. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
When we're done with that conversation, I will divide the samples that I took. One for you, one for me. So I have one sample. Actually, I have two samples of the Nosferatu blood. I keep one. And I have several vials of the secondary blood that we found. And I'll keep like one or two of those for myself. and put the rest of them in like a little paper bag to hand off for later.
Perfect.
Cool. What can I help for with Mass? What do you need help set up?
I would point over to a small table that has pamphlets of tonight's the synopsis of what we're going over tonight, like the scriptures that we're going to be reviewing, the theme, all that stuff, and you could just hand those to people at the door.
Oh my gosh, the greeter! I could totally do that. Okay. And I grab some and I stack them real nice.
You are a blessing, Rhea. Thank you.
You know, whatever I could do for the community.
Dr. Smith is in the corner with the book reading.
Inside.
Not helping. Yeah. Oh yeah, fully. Not
Inside Maximus's head, he's just like got the shifty eyes for Rhea right now. She's way too helpful for a kindred, but you know, he's gonna leave that for another day. That's not priority right now. Of note for the storyteller, the part of town that we're in and with the congregation that Maximus usually, well, I should not say Maximus, because as far as the congregation is goes, he is known as Father Damien Fark, and we are very welcoming and opening congregation, and we end up having lots of like criminals and homeless people, just scum of the earth, that come in here, and some of them are actually here for purposes of the mass, but the others are here because this is also a masquerade for criminal activity that Maximus, you know, keeps tabs on and things like that.
Excellent. So as people begin to come into the building, you do see a woman walking in that looks very out of place from the usual congregants that you see. She's around 5'5", long, wavy red hair in that classic 40s, like half pinned style, her clothes matching. Very nice as well. She's got a long tan-colored overcoat on, set of trousers with a wide leg, little hint that she's wearing a heel, and a white blouse. You know that this is the sheriff, who simply goes by Ash.
Does she normally wear white?
Normally, yes.
Noted. She is a very daring kindred. A Tremere that wears white. All right. So yeah, I mean, we go through the sermon. It's probably only like a half hour kind of thing, and then come around to communion, and everybody kind of filters from their pews into the center aisle, and the, you know, Maximus is standing there handing out communion wafers and the wine, and you know, just kind of each person that goes by, calling them out by name, you know, body of Christ, blood of Christ. And yeah.
You do see her wait. She's very respectful over the fact that you have your job to do. She stands in the back, kind of just glancing around. Occasionally you do see her look down at her phone and, you know, send off a quick text. But she waits until you are finished before she approaches the entire group. Has Tech arrived yet?
I don't know. How long does it take Tech to arrive?
You said 15 minutes, so it's probably roughly almost 15 minutes up.
All right. Yeah, then Tech, what I would imagine, is probably there. I suspect that he is chilling out, lingering with unseen passage active, which I succeeded on the rouse check for that. With enough people around right now, he's probably gonna keep a low profile at the moment. He will move in close to Maximus, and just kind of whisper, "Whenever you're ready to chat," and then slowly make his way back.
Jack, roll me wits and awareness.
Sure.
And while this is going on and communion's going on, I want to stand uncomfortably close to the sheriff and just, say hi and just, sort of stand there.
3 successes on the wits and awareness.
Okay. You do not notice anything out of the ordinary. She is a very friendly woman. She speaks with what's known as a transatlantic accent. She sounds a little bit like Katharine Hepburn when she speaks. She's very friendly, chats you up, introduces herself, does not use her title. She just is like, "Oh, I'm Ash. I came to talk to Maximus and you guys. Has your evening been well?"
So far, so good. We have a good congregation tonight.
It's always excellent. I saw. Was that your van outside?
Yeah, that's my van. That's my girl.
I remember those vans. They are very nice.
She's super fun. Great to set up for, blood drives, community events, stuff like that.
And she does look around. She goes, "Have you spoken to Tati recently? She is the member of our community to talk to for if you need help with any like charity events."
No, but I totally will. Thanks.
She does wait, and then she's like, are you are part of the coterie with Maximus, right?"
Totally.
Well, I was told I was supposed to come here for information. So should we all gather and meet and talk?
Oh, sure. I mean, the vestibule will be clear in a few minutes after they're done with communion. Most people take their wafers and bail, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do understand that. We have occasionally free treats at my establishment, and people are always very quick to come in and grab one and leave.
For sure.
She does, when it clears, she does move over. Maximus, do we have somewhere private to talk with your group?
So there would be one gentleman that is also stayed behind after the whole sermon, and he doesn't say anything. He's not doesn't look like a piece of shit or anything like that. He's probably wearing like a nice like leather jacket, a like a plain white t-shirt with some jeans and some like working boots. That's just kind of standing there observing. Maximus nods. Yes, of course, Ash, we can go back to the vestibule. If you would give me just a couple of minutes, and he points over to the gentleman, unless you're comfortable with.
You see her pause and she kind of looks up. Is this something perhaps I should not know about?
It is related to the reason you are here.
I will wait. Just so you know, since this is your this is your guys' haven, as Azra might pop by. I had her looking into some things tonight, and she's might stop by.
Of course, our our haven is open to your hounds anytime that you are here. Emphasis on the you are here.
I will remind her of that. I don't expect her to pop by very often.
So yeah, if she's not going to follow, what Max is going to do is go back to the vestibule with this guy, and he's one of the people that's part of the criminal contacts that he has, and I am going to use a dominate power on him.
Okay.
So I think I need to roll for a rouse check for this. No, there's no additional cost. So I'm going to use Mesmerize on him with Submerge Directive.
Mm-hmm.
So I will roll to rouse for Mesmerize. I passed. So since he is just another mortal, I don't have to make a roll or anything, but I'm going to tell him, kind of just direct eye contact. I'm going to give him the address of where we found Patrick's things at and tell him to go there. And he is not to leave until an hour before sunset or sunrise, or whenever there is some sort of foot traffic, somebody shows up at that place and attempts to go inside or does go inside. And if that is the case, he is to call on the phone number on a sticky note that I give him and let me know.
It is easily done. He departs knowing full well what he is supposed to be doing.
My apologies, Ash. Everyone, if you would come back to the vestibule.
And she starts to follow and then pauses as another woman jogs into inside the church. This lady is not nearly as attired as her. She is wearing athleisure wear, leggings, a tank top. Her hair is slightly braided back in the front, and her hair forms this nice curly little halo. And she runs in, stops, and then walks the rest of the way down. She's got you can see it's a smoothie in her hand. Thought I was going to be late. Hi, Maxie. This is Azra.
Maximus visibly grimaces at the usage of Maxie.
Dr. Smith.
A pleasure, Azra.
And you are, and she does look at, is Dom in the chapel as well? You two are new. I haven't seen you before. I'm Azra.
Dominic, or sorry, you threw me off there.
Sorry.
I probably don't really get up, but I imagine I'm leaning against the wall. But Rich nods, and nice to meet you. My name's Rich.
And she does offer her hand for you to shake it.
Oh, in that case, he gets up properly and shakes her hand.
And she does go to Rhea, offers to shake her hand.
Oh, come on. And I give her a big hug. My name is Rhea.
You do get the very affectionate pat, like she's very in a good mood. She's like, so we're talking secrets tonight? And you just see Ash kind of like out of the corner of her sight just go very briefly. The vestibule. Yes, we are talking this way, please. Oh, right, sorry.
Is our whole existence not qualified as discussing secrets?
I mean, not always, but most of the time, yes.
So I'd assume yes.
Huh. Tonight's been a very weird night. She like walks into the vestibule and you just see Ash follow her, just like, yes, this is going to be a night. When you all are...
Yeah, Max would just, Tech, you can come out now.
By this point, Tech would probably actually already just be standing over in the corner of the room, visible.
Nobody would have noticed though, because
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't know we were there. Anyway, so back in the vestibule, it does look a little weird back here. It's not like your typical what you would see in a Catholic church. In fact, there's probably some kind of sacrilegious stuff back here. But it is definitely a church vestibule. There's just some weird iconography. Like most of the crosses, like the one on Maximus's forehead, are turned upside down. So nobody is allowed back here except for people that are accompanying Maximus. But he would take the bag that Rhea gave with the samples of the blood, set it out on the table, open it up. Sheriff, Hound, Azra. Sorry, I don't mean to stand on formalities here if it's not needed.
Oh, you know, I don't really care about the title. Like, you can call me Azra. It's fine.
He looks to Ash as well for confirmation.
It's perfectly fine. Titles are not necessary tonight.
Points to the blood sample. Did the Seneschal or the Keeper inform you of anything that's going on?
I was informed by both of them. There was some discrepancies in both stories, but Eloise can be cagey and Mateo occasionally forgets to inform me of stuff.
And neither of them get along very well with each other, so it's like playing a game of telephone that...
It's a lot of reading between the lines.
Yes, yep. So
It's exhausting on occasion, but we survive. So this blood sample is from our missing Nosferatu?
yes, he go
So
by
there's
the
a
name
couple
of...
of like, I'm sorry, like the little vials. The Nosferatu one has a little red ribbon tied around it, and the rest of them have little black ribbons tied around them.
Yes, and although I'm sure that you're going to be able to confirm this for us, the other is an unknown sample. There were multiple different varieties of Vitae at the location. We did encounter another Magister while we were there as well, so I believe it is safe to assume that the other samples are from him, but confirmation would be appreciated as well. So to give you the short story, this Nosferatu has gone missing. He goes by the name of Patrick, or Patty for short, I suppose. Allegedly, he has been working on something for Mateo that was trying to be kept on the down low, as the kids say these nights.
Yes,
So
I was informed of that. Mateo did
yes.
not say what it was. He just said it was very important and he didn't want Eloise to know on the account of how Eloise usually reacts.
And this is why we are having to resort to finding out that he is missing after the fact.
Yes, I will bring this to Vicente's attention. And she pauses, looks at Azra. Azra sipping on her smoothie, just nodding along. The next time that I see him. She does look at both of the vials. So a Magister and a Nosferatu. She does, like, gently uncork them, dip a pinky very gently, puts it back on, licks it. That's what that is, yes. And then the other one, she does the same with it, and she's just like looking at it. Yes, that is a Magister. I unfortunately don't have enough to track him with. him, her.
Alois did inform me that it would be within our best interest to not do so.
Was this the one, you think that this is the one that was on the rooftop?
That is what we have assumed, yes.
Hmm. Hmm. And you just see her, she's like considering the vial. And she falls silent as she's just like looking at it, trying to like figure things out. And Azra pipes up and goes, so, I went back to the place. Who took the drives from the computer? Ah,
Pointing
yes.
to tech.
Okay. That explains that. I'm assuming the hole in the roof happened around that time as well?
Yeah, that's my bad too.
Okay. So, did you find anything from that stuff? Because I may have something else for you.
Well, I know Patty ended up finding what he was looking for, but sounds like it ended up being a bit more than he could chew there.
Hmm.
Sounds like they had friends, let's say.
Interesting. You see her in her other hand, she was carrying looks like a Target bag. And she reaches into it. She pulls out a Ziploc bag that contains a battered looking digital recorder, a voice recorder. You think you could do anything with this?
He's gonna reach out for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I found it. I don't blame you guys for not seeing it. I had a little bit more time to look around. It was kind of like knocked over into one of the corners. It looks like the blanket fell on it. Y'all didn't see Toast either, did you? His little rat.
I don't recall seeing that, so nah.
Huh. I'll ask Rose to see if she can find him. Well, so I went around and talked to the neighbors. Well, there was like one other kindred in the area, but you know, I did my job. I went and talked. Very nice Malkavian. I think he was Malkaving a little too much that night. So and she like sits down in one of the chairs, looks at Ash, who is still considering the little vial very heavily. So Malkavian said he remembered the magister on the roof. Because I asked him. He says that guy only went over there 30 minutes before y'all arrived.
That would coincide with the story that we were told as well.
So he went alone. Evidently, there was like 4 others with him, but they were down a couple ways. Looks like they came into town and were like resting in one of the buildings down there. I went back, took a little looky poo. They weren't there. She holds up the bag. She goes, but I did find a lot of like medical equipment. Was weird, like syringes and stuff. And some bloodstained sheets. It smells vitae, but like not vitae, if that makes sense. Doesn't make
Can I
sense.
see those syringes?
Sure. And you see her reach in and she pulls out 2 Ziploc bags. One with syringes in it and one with like empty vials. I'm not good with medical stuff.
I am.
Tech immediately
am
loses
I.
interest and goes over to a table and starts fiddling with the recorder.
Ray, may I see one of those vials?
I pass Alice one of the vials.
And I'm going to try and identify what was in the vial.
Okay.
Same.
Both roll your intelligence or wits and your medicine. Tech, go ahead and roll me a int and technology roll.
Does my prescription specialty apply?
Yes.
Is a specialty 1 dice or 2?
1.
Okay.
6 successes.
3
for Tech.
successes.
6, 3,
7. Correct.
7. Crit. All right. Ria, are you looking at the syringes?
I am. I have. You said there was more than one vial.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the vial and a syringe, trying to figure out what kind of syringe it is, what's its intended purpose, sniffing the vial, what's in here.
So the vial does. None of the vials have labels on them. You do get a whiff that it is probably a pain medication. And Alice, you, with your 7 crit, you know that the medicine in the vial is morphine. Tech, you are able to fiddle with it enough to pop out the cassette that was in it.
He'll immediately take the cassette, transfer it over to a cassette player that he has in his backpack, and he's going to slot in some earphones and start listening immediately because he still remains completely uninterested in any of the medical stuff.
As you are listening, you do hear Patrick's voice again, this time very scared. All right, I don't have a lot of time, don't have a lot of time, don't have a lot of time. Oh, crap. I've been made. This is not good. This is not good. Crap, they have a magister with them. So, in case anybody finds this, because I'm not certain how long I have. There is someone feeding them information. I think I knew who it is. I certainly know who that magister is. And right as he sounds like he's going to say a name, there is a blast of static across the thing. Oh, Mateo's gonna be mad. Mateo, and then there's another blast of static. Followed by the sound of someone slamming into a desk and the recorder going skidding over. You hear the sound of a struggle. You make out the slight noises of panicked squeaking that you, being of course a Nosferatu, you know that's from a rat. Before it sounds like someone hits the recorder and you hear it skittering across the floor and going dead.
Hell. And Tech will go ahead and kind of pull the earbuds out of his ears and tosses the recorder onto the table along with the earphones. It seems our little friend was a better liar than I expected.
Azor kind of like looks over at you. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, my brain's not here today. So the Malkavian said he saw when the door got. Who took the door off the hinges? It was laying on the ground. Which one of you was that?
That was my fault.
Okay.
Well, it was already kind of broken, to be fair.
That makes more sense with what he said. So he said he heard a crash, went out, couldn't see anything because it was dark outside. I thought that the guy may have popped a shroud, but then the tech would have been ruined, and that doesn't work. But was the street light working for you guys when you were there?
Was the street light working for us when we were there?
Yes.
It was.
You see her pause for a second, and she looks down at the sheets for like that are in the bag. Hey, Ash. Huh? Is Nancy back in town yet? No, won't be here for another week. Oh. I have an idea. I need to go check something. Do not go over there and bother him if that's what you're thinking. I would never bother anyone. And she grins, holds the bag, and turns and leaves.
Being a phlebotomist, would I know what the effects of morphine would be on Vitae? And if so, how much morphine it would take to, say, induce torpor?
You can roll me. What do I want to make this? Let's make it 2 separate rolls. So
Okay.
your intelligence and wits, and your medicine, and then the second roll an occult roll.
Okay.
And I help since this is something that I'm familiar with
Yep.
infusing blood.
Yep. Go ahead and add an extra die to both of those.
And then a straight occult roll? Ooh. Okay, so the straight occult roll is 2 9s. So 2 successes, and then the previous roll, the medicine roll, is 1 critical and 1 success.
You know that for most kindred, morphine normally has to be ingested through blood, like feeding off somebody. However, it might work differently on a thin blood.
Oh. Okay. Oh, she took the sheets, huh?
Yes, she did. But you can hear her still walking, like she didn't move very fast, so she's still in the like walking out. So you could go catch up to her if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch up to her. I need to take a look at them sheets for sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I catch up. Excuse me, just real quick, if I could, can I see those sheets for a second?
Oh yeah, sure. And she hands the bag over to you.
I pull out a corner that's got some Vitae on it, and yeah, I taste it.
Go ahead and roll.
Make sure I have that right.
Licking Vitae seeds, unsanitary for even the kindred.
I mean, 1 success. Oh wait, 2 successes.
You, of course, are used to figuring it out. It doesn't quite taste like the normal Vitae you're used to. You do get the sense that this was probably a thin blood.
Is there enough blood on these sheets? I think it was a thin blood. Past tense.
You are you have experience with injuries and that sort of a nature. You glancing down at them, whoever was bleeding was very badly hurt, but not dead yet.
Okay. I sheepishly stuff the sheets back in the bag and, hey, thanks.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna go see something. I'll wait. Do you have a cell phone?
Of course.
Can I get your number?
Sure. It's a burner phone. I give her the number.
She'll put it in. She'll be like, I'll either text you or Dr. Smith. Because I feel like you guys are the medical people. Whenever I figure out this, I'm gonna go talk to somebody about this. And she turns and she walks very quickly. And Ash,
I definitely want to go back to Alice.
Okay.
Dr. Alice, I think that was Thin Blood.
How familiar with Thin Bloods am I?
Thin Bloods are relatively uncommon in Dallas, simply because the cam doesn't really like them. You've probably come across one or two.
Okay.
You do know that depending on the Thin Blood, they could be more easily injured than a kindred.
And I only know, do I know of a few in the city, or have I only met a few in passing?
You've met a few in passing. You know they tend to not stay in the city. They tend to be in one of the surrounding cities.
So I will address Rhea. I don't know of any who are stationary in Dallas. They usually pass through. They're not incredibly welcome here in Cameron territory.
Can I see that needle again?
Sure, it's definitely morphine.
I want to use heightened senses and
Sure.
see if I can sense any thin blood on there. I'm looking for the same blood that was on the sheets, in any way, any residue on any of these needles.
Okay. Roll me wits and awareness and add your aspects.
If I see her squinting at it, I'm gonna do sensing as well.
Four successes, one of them critical.
4 successes. You can smell the same blood that you smelled on the sheets.
Okay, so maybe I could be way off base here. Maybe they took a thin blood, injected them with morphine, and then, I don't know, somehow forced Patty to take a drink and knock out Patty. I don't know.
I don't think it would knock him out as much as just give him the effect of morphine.
Well, in which case it would be, either way, it'd be kind of incapacitating if they could force him or make him do it. I don't know. For some reason, they wanted this thin blood doped up.
He could have just been hurt and doing it himself.
I guess.
Or just an addict.
An addict.
You see Ash set up with the vials with the black ribbon on it. She goes, "May I take these?"
Oh yeah, totally. They're yours.
That's very nice. I am going to go talk to. I'm gonna go talk to Elias. Off the top of my head, I have an idea, but I might need to run something by him. I want to see if it's gonna work before I waste a valuable sample.
Anything we can help with?
Do you see her pause? She goes, "Oh, yes, no, I forgot. I was so caught up with this. Rory said he was able to get the camera footage off that camera. He's managed to pull it and clean it up so you can see it. Heck, you know where he hides out.
Yeah, of course. And
He
at
said
this
he's
point,
been
Tech's
trying.
kind of sitting in the corner of the room with a notebook and pen, and he seems to be jotting some stuff down.
Well, if you or Dr. Elias need any help, I mean, you know, I'm a doctor too. I'll do my best to try and help out.
You're of my clan, right?
Tremere.
Would you like to come with us? 3 brains could be better than just the 2 of us.
I mean, if it's okay with the rest of the coterie.
Tech seems completely and utterly distracted. Yeah, he probably didn't even hear you.
I mean, if anybody really wants to come, you guys can. It'll might be a little boring. But I know Rory was really trying to get a hold of you, Tech. He says you've been ignoring his phone calls, which for Rory could be an exaggeration at times.
Yeah. I'll touch base with him.
Right, well, if whoever wants to come with me can. It's a little bit of a drive. Unfortunately, we have to go to the university, and I've got to get into his office, which it's like that place. It's very unorganized. She puts it back down and just like collects everything together, puts it in like was it in a bag originally?
Like a paper bag.
Yeah, she gently tucks it all in, rolls it up, like makes it all nice and neat. She's like, okay, well, I will notify you guys if we find anything, or Bria can do it, because I feel like she's got you all on speed dial anyhow. I will keep touch, Maximus, in case anything happens. And you do see her phone light up because she put it on the desk and she looks at it and she goes, "Oh, Azra says, oh, she didn't. I'm gonna have a talk with this girl later. Ezra says the sheets were a thin blood. The building she found them in was where the Malkavian said the Sabbat were hiding. That's weird.
It's not. Rich and I will go back there and talk to this Malkavian again and investigate.
Okay, thank you.
I might be some assistance when it comes to Malkavians.
You're free to join us, Dr. Smith.
Excellent. All right, well, Rhea, let's go. I'll let you know on this. I have a feeling that Elias will have a better idea of how to deal with things than I will. I have an idea, I just don't know if it's gonna work. I really don't want to ruin this. All right. Bye, guys.
I grab my purse and follow her out.
Good evening, Sheriff.
Good evening, guys. Be safe, okay? Would you like to take my car or yours?
I mean, if you want to see the van.
I would like to see the van.
I head over to the garage where I pulled it out and open the sliding door and invite her to hop on in. Shotgun?
Yes, please. And she does hop in. She looks a little excited. Like she hasn't been one of these in like a very long time and she's very thrilled. And she does hop in and sit.
I close the door. I hop in the driver's side, turn the ignition, and Whitesnake is blaring, and I pull on out.
She does direct you to the university. So who all's going to go talk to the Malkavian?
This
Three?
guy. Two
Cool.
thumbs.
You guys are more than welcome to go head back over there. And what's Tech gonna do?
Well, for one, as the rest of them are getting ready to leave, he's kicking on Unseen Passage again, and then following them out of the church. and he is going to head to the nearest storm drain and stuff his backpack down in, crawl his way in, and then just as he hops in, pull out the burner phone and send a text to Rory that just says, Warren, 15 minutes. And slides his phone back into his pocket and starts making his way to the Nosferatu Warrens.
You get a text back. You know I really don't go down there, right?
Red.
A grumbling. So, coterie has split up. Going to go get some more information. Rich, Maximus, and Alice, how are you getting to where the Malkavian is?
Does Alice have a car?
I assume she probably has a car. Nothing fancy, just standard. I don't know cars. I can't give you a name.
It's a standard 4-door sedan. You all are able to get there. You guys know the way. You've been there just the previous night. Azra did say they were in a building nearby. She did not specify which building. The section of the street where the now slightly disheveled dentist office is has several empty buildings on it. One looks like an old semi-strip mall. The other a auto mechanics warehouse of some sort. But that is where you find yourselves. You all can make a wits and awareness roll.
Before we exit the car, I will turn to the others and ask, do we want to talk to the Malkavian or have the Malkavian talk to us?
I am not going to pretend to understand what that means.
Do we want to understand him or do we want to communicate with him?
Yes.
No, pick one. It's not.
If we can communicate with him at first, if push comes to shove.
You're doing that. Okay. It's always easier if I know which side I need to reach to.
I will let you take the lead on this one, Dr. Smith.
If we want to talk to him, we're going to want the other side.
Okay, well.
It's just easier to handle when I have enough warning to not let it take over.
Let's just hope that he cooperates, because if he does not, then I will make him.
No, maybe not that far.
Or maybe.
But that's up to him.
Yeah, it's up to him.
That's fair. All right.
I would have called Azra on the way over here, by the way, to ask what building the Malkavian lives in.
On the way over, the text message does not come quick. It takes a bit of time. You're probably just about to pull down the street when she finally does text you back. Just says, mechanic.
That was my guess.
All right.
So,
Maximus is also wearing some, like, his attire is a little bit different tonight. So normally he's like wearing jeans and like what you would expect a Catholic priest to wear. But he is wearing just a plain black hoodie tonight with, strangely enough, some like basketball shorts. It's a very strange combination of clothing.
Is the hoodie jean or are the shorts jean?
Neither of
Because
them are
you-
jeans. The hoodie is like just a regular old hoodie, just plain
I
black.
swore you
No,
said jeans. That might have just been what I
no,
heard.
that's what he normally wears.
Oh, okay. I had a very different image, so
So plain black hoodie, no type of graphics or anything on it. Same thing, just workout shorts,
What all did you guys?
pale legs, putting the beacon out for the light of Gondor.
What all did you guys get for that wits and awareness roll?
Oh, let me roll that.
So does that include a hunger die?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I got 2, but I would also like to pop on Sense the Unseen.
Go ahead and roll since add your aspects dice to that.
4 successes.
3 for me.
That turns that 2 into a 5 crit. I had a half
Okay.
a crit. I rolled the other half of the crit.
Maximus, what was your roll? 3. Okay, you guys are roughly in the same ballpark. As you near the auto mechanic store, you do hear like noises coming from it, but the instant you get anywhere close to it, they stop. And this mechanic shop's been empty for a while. The front door is opened. It looks like it's just been left open. And peering inside, Alice, you see 2 sets of stacked tires. They're 3 on top of each other. And because you've rolled with Sense the Unseen, you do see a figure in a hoodie, jeans, standing as still as possible in between them. You get the feeling that he has turned on an obfuscate ability to hide, but he doesn't expect you to see him.
I'm gonna look around, look right at him, and Cloak of Shadows also. So he sees me look at him and then vanish.
The instant he makes like a gasping noise, it breaks. You
I'll
can
break
do
mine
that too. That's
Hi, friend.
cool.
Hi, friend.
Hey, who are you?
I'm
Wait.
Alice. Who are you?
What? Oh, I'm Nico.
Hi, Nico.
You're not here for my tires, are you?
Should we be here for your tires? Did your tires do something wrong?
No.
That makes me think they did.
I did not steal these tires.
Oh, I thought the tires did the bad. You did the bad?
No.
Okay, I believe you.
Wow, this has been very busy tonight. You're like the second person that's came here.
Who's the first?
Well, the tall lady in the leggings.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
bubbly,
that
very
makes
friendly.
sense. That makes sense.
She's very friendly.
Who was here yesterday?
Oh, there were a lot of people here yesterday. It was very busy. It's really weird.
Who?
This is normally very quiet. Oh,
Who?
okay.
Who's here?
Well, there was. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, come on.
So the building down there, the former strip mall used to have really good ice cream in it, but they've moved. So there was like a group there, but they said I couldn't tell anybody that they were there. But they've left. They left last night.
When did they when did they get there? Like how long were they hanging out at the old ice cream place?
You see, he's like doing mental calculations. Like less than a week, maybe about a week, a little more than a week.
Did you get any names of the many strange people
Oh,
in the ice cream?
oh yes. The very friendly one. She's very pretty. Alicia. She's very pretty. There. I didn't get the doctor's name. He was a little scary. He had a glare. There was the tall guy with the long hair. I didn't get his name either, but he had weird eyes. They were like, they changed color.
Why did they come here?
Oh, it looked like they got into a fight. The one of them was very badly injured. That's why they had the doctor.
But why'd they come in here?
Alicia said they traveled a long way. She's very nice. I wish she would have stayed. They traveled a very long way because bad people were after them.
Okay. Alice will turn to the other two.
But
see you. Oh.
Are you guys looking for Patrick?
Yes.
I hope you guys find him. He's really nice.
I thought you were gonna say you had him. That would have made this way easier.
No, he was taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember because it was the night the light went out.
Taken alive?
I couldn't see because it was dark. I can't see in the dark.
Did you see his little friend?
The little mouse? No. Well, no, that wasn't that night. She normally comes over and gets crackers. She's very nice.
Have you seen her since?
No. It was weird.
Maybe she can help us find him.
I could ask some people, see if they know where she went. I assumed the shadow man took her too.
It can be slippery.
Because like it was very loud. I couldn't see. It was really weird because I saw him arrive, but then the light went out. And then there was a
when
loud
you
noise.
saw him arrive, was he, and I'll give him a general brief like description of Remy. Did he look like that?
No. That guy was down with the other people.
With the pretty eyes, the changey eyes?
Yeah, he was down there with them.
Can I?
Yeah, Remy with changey eyes.
Can I try to bloodhound this guy, by the way, just to get an idea of what his like current resonance is and stuff?
Sure.
That's 3 successes, which is what the difficulty says by the book, unless there's some kind of modifiers that are happening in the environment that would make it harder.
You do get a sense that he's panicked, probably also a little excited that there are so many people here. He doesn't get to talk to many people.
Okay.
No. The guy over there had short hair. I only saw him from the back. He looked angry. Well, he walked angry. You know how angry people walk.
Do you know if any of them were human or were they all not human?
Which ones?
The people who took Patrick.
Well, there was only the one, but the light went out and I couldn't see, so I don't know if there was more than one.
The weird people didn't take Patrick? Oh, I misread that.
No. They were nice. They were injured. I think they were hiding. They said they were hiding. from bad guys. One of them was very badly injured. That's why they had the doctor. But they left. They're. Wait, were you guys here the other night?
Yeah.
That. Oh,
We met Pretty Eyes.
that was the night they left.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I saw him. He went over there, and then I saw a van pull up, but I couldn't quite see who was in it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And then I saw him. Well, it was him, but like it wasn't him because it was shadow him. Slithered back, and then they when you guys left, they left like an hour later. I was really sad to see them go. I miss Alicia.
That makes sense, though.
Did they at least stop by and say goodbye?
Oh yeah, they did. They said they were heading out of town, but they didn't know how fast that was going to happen. But they weren't staying. They didn't want to stay very long because they said there were bad people here.
Yeah, that might be us.
No, they said these were scary bad people. Like the kind that like to, and he like looks around and goes, us.
Oh, not us. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. So
the scary bad people.
he didn't leave because of us. He left because of the people who took Patrick. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know that other shadow man.
But the other shadow man took Patrick.
Yeah. Well, I yes, he was there, and then the light went out, and then I heard a crash, and there was a noise, and it sounded like pain, and I hid.
Do I know what Kieran's physical features are? Like, could I give a description of Kieran?
Yeah.
I do, and ask him if that's who he saw.
I mean, I saw him from the back. It sounds similar.
Hair color, haircut, any, I don't know if Kieran has any like piercings or tattoos or anything like that.
You know Kieran is tall, about 6 foot tall. Often gets mistaken for a Bruja because he wears a leather jacket and dresses more bikery. Dark salt and pepper hair. Like his hair is black but silver in the front, and he's got like not like a long beard, but like just a decent amount of facial hair. That's also got silver in it.
So was he wearing a leather jacket?
I saw the jacket. It was a nice
If you
jacket.
would have seen this guy at a biker bar, would you expect him to be there?
Yes.
Maximus's hand clenches and unclenches. You've been wonderful help. We appreciate it.
Do you guys have a quarter?
Yeah, I have a quarter. And I'll pull out a quarter and give him a quarter.
Thank you. You see he walks over to one of the stacks of tires, and there is a small stack of like coins on it, and he puts it on there. It looks very nice now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, new friend. Do you have a cell phone?
I did, but it's been broken for a while.
If you get a new one, and I'll write my number in a little sticky note with Dr. Alice Smith.
Oh, you're a doctor. That's very nice.
And I underlined Alice.
Alice. Like Alice in Wonderland? I love that movie.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little more serious, though.
Oh. I like it, though. I'm glad I could help. The scary shadow man won't be back, though, right?
Probably not, but I don't know.
Okay, good. Because he was scary. And I miss Patrick. Please bring Patrick back.
We'll try.
Thank you.
And if we see the nice lady Alicia, we'll tell her that you want her to come back.
That would be nice. I miss them. They were all nice. Like they said that the people in the city, the people in charge wouldn't like them being there, but they were very nice.
Also, maybe don't stay here because maybe bad people do know where things here are.
Oh. Okay.
But get a phone and let me know where you go so we can talk.
I will. I will do my best.
You stay safe.
I'll try. You see, like, he kind of like scoots behind one of the stacks of tires and then disappears. So, Tech, you're heading to the Warren.
Indeed.
Describe the Nosferatu Warren for us.
So I imagine that it follows a somewhat similar trend to warrens in other cities. So as you make your way through the sewer pipes, eventually there is a specific access tunnel that, if you were to look at the city plans, you would realize relatively quickly that tunnel should not be there. And that goes off into a series of winding, twisting, maze-like tunnels that would be very easy for someone to get lost in should they not already inherently know the way of where they're going. So you make your way through these winding, twisting tunnels and eventually come out into a large, carved-out area that rests under the city, attached to but disconnected from its sewer systems.
As you are in this tunnel, you do hear. Actually, make me a wits and awareness roll.
Absolutely.
Kind of curious on something.
That's going to be 3 successes.
You hear. It sounds like footsteps, but like somebody is trying to be a little bit more quiet before coming into view is a pale man with red, slightly curly hair, wearing a cable knit sweater, a pair of blue jeans, and if you were a Toreador, you probably would tut at the fact that his shoes are Converse, and they do appear to have a custom pattern of cats on them. He's carrying a messenger bag, and he looks distinctly uncomfortable about being down here.
Tech is going to go ahead and reactivate Unseen Passage to keep himself from immediate view. Succeeded the rouse check. My assumption is that this guy was coming from behind me and essentially making his way through the tunnels as though he's trying to get to the Warrens as well, or is that a bad read of the situation?
You know, because you've worked with him before, that this is Rory.
This is Rory. Okay.
What his clan is, you are not certain.
So he's working his way towards the Warrens, but...
Yes.
Okay.
He looks just distinctly uncomfortable, like he doesn't like to be underground, but he finds himself underground, and it's just like, the strap of his messenger bag, he's kind of like tightened it a little bit. And he's got like his cell phone in his hand and he's using the flashlight.
Tech will let Rory pass him initially and immediately kind of start following along with him. And before they get up to the actual Warrens themselves, Tech will eventually whisper, "You really ain't good at this sneaking around shit, is you?" At which point he'll drop the unseen passage.
You see him turn around very quickly, his hand go into his messenger bag for the briefest moment before he sees you and goes, "Oh, why do you do this to me? Why?" And as he speaks, you can hear a Scottish accent coming from him.
Yeah, you make it too easy, Rory. You
Why
make it
can't
too easy.
why can't we meet in my place? You know I'm not supposed to leave my place.
'Cause your place is disgusting.
I live in an office building. We have a cleaning crew.
Yeah, well, they suck. So what's the deal with this video you got here? I hear you're making some progress with it.
Oh, Ash, you know, I hate the fact that you don't answer my text messages. It makes me very upset.
So I hear.
Yeah, okay, so I cleaned up the video, and you do see him reach into his bag to pull out a tablet. So I cleaned it up. Well, I cleaned it up enough. Feel like it might have been, cause, well, Mateo said, and I got it again from Ash, that the guy you're looking for is a shadow. So I'm assuming most of this corruption is probably because of the, shadow wiggles. Anyhow, so, and he does open it up. It starts playing like the video, and it does skip in places. It appears to be a camera that was placed on the light pole outside that you all had seen the previous night, the one that illuminated the front part of the doctor's office, circular area of the doctor's office. And it does skip and pop. It looks like he wasn't able to patch some areas. You do see in the back a figure start to approach. And as the figure approaches, because it is a La Sombra, it's twisted and distorted. So you can't quite see like a clear picture of the face. But the figure does have like their face turned a little bit, almost as if they know the camera's there. They disappear around the back. And it takes probably about 15-20 minutes before you see the light click off. And then very dimly, you can see like, it looks like, because you've been there, like the door had flung off and someone had ran out, followed by another figure before the camera cuts off.
Tech will snatch the tablet out of Rory's hand, and
He very much tightly holds it. Please get you a long way.
Tech will go ahead and rouse the blood to up his strength and rip the tablet out of Rory's hand, and then immediately dig into his own pack and pull out a data cable and connect the one end into the tablet, and then he'll reach back into his backpack and pull out his laptop, which he braces onto the wall of the tunnel as he pops it open and connects the data cable into it, and then pulls the video file off, and then immediately disconnects the tablet, hands it back to Rory. Yeah, your work is greatly appreciated. I'll be sure to pass on good word about what you done here. Now, shoo shoo. And Tech will close the laptop up, stick it back
Such a
into his
dick.
backpack, shut it, and start walking off into the tunnels.
Absolutely such a dick. Such a dick. And you see him like turn and he's grumbling under his breath as he's walking back, just like you feel the sense that he is cursing your entire lineage as he's walking.
Tech just smiles to himself. He lets Rory get a decent lead on him, and then actually 180s and starts making his way back out of the tunnels rather than heading into the warren directly. He's going to make his way back to his own personal haven now at this point and start setting up a peg wall where he's tearing notes out of a page in his notebook, plastering them onto the peg board and starting to connect various strings from one to the other. At the same time, he takes the laptop and sets it up on his desk and starts playing the video on loop. And then he kind of steps back and just starts observing the information that he has available to him at this point. So kind of a collection of all the different various clues and details, and as well as things that people were pointing out during the conversation back at the church, and things that different coterie members had kind of sorted out at this point, and just kind of trying to let himself see if he can notice any other patterns in the data that they may be overlooking.
On your way back to your haven, roll me wits and awareness.
That is 2. I would spend a willpower, but it's not worth it because I can't re-roll enough dice. So 2 successes.
Out of the corner of your eye, for a moment, you thought you saw movement. And when you like turn your head to look, you don't see anything.
That's enough to rouse suspicion. He'll kick on both heightened senses and sense the unseen. Let me make a couple rouse checks here. Succeed. And 2 successes, so not hungrier, thankfully. But
For sense the unseen and
yep, sense the unseen, he's letting take over his vision, and then for the heightened senses, he's letting that kind of take over his sense of hearing.
so go ahead and roll me another one and add your Auspex dice.
All right.
And Alex, those are both free powers.
Oh, well, fair enough. That's probably why I didn't note 1 rouse on my character sheet. I'm all about giving myself penalties, though. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, yeah, that's much better. All right, so 4, 5, 6 successes now.
As you're standing there listening, you can hear what sounds like a very soft squeaking noise. And like these slight hesitant movements of like little feet scratching along.
I'm going to kind of quietly make my way over towards the source of the sound, wherever it had darted off to. Knowing it's likely a rat, but not sure which rat, because there's lots of them here. Tech is going to go ahead and reach into the side pouch of his backpack, and he pulls out a little packet of the cheesy peanut butter crackers, and he tears that open and pulls one of them out and kind of starts breaking it up into a few pieces and skittering it onto the ground, trying to tempt out whatever rat this is.
It takes a few moments before, around like where one of the corners curves, you see a very tiny little head pop out, little nose trembling in the air, before a cinnamon colored rat scurries around the corner. And you can see, as it's walking, it looks like it's limping a bit, but it does reach out with one of its good paws to pick up a piece of the cracker and eats it.
Well, recognizing the rat more than likely, since he knows his
You,
fellow brethren fairly well.
yes, you do know that is Toast.
And seeing that Toast is injured, Tech is actually going to go ahead and bite his wrist and offer that out to the rat, knowing full well that it's already should be fully bloodbound to its domitor, so it shouldn't be a problem with the blood bond. Just wants to get some vitae into it to let it heal.
She looks at you like hesitantly before like scurrying over, and does take just a little bit, because she's a rat.
And once she's finished, Tech will lick the wound on his wrist to seal it back up.
And she looks at you, kind of just with her one good paw trying to clean her face. And upon closer inspection, you can see that it looks like her one paw looks to be a little broken. And she looks a little like little like tousled, but overall she looks okay. A little scared. She's squeaking at you.
Tech's gonna put his hand down onto the ground and just kind of offering to Toast to get up onto his hand.
She scurries into your hand.
And he'll sort of just kind of guide her to get up onto his shoulder as he continues making his way back to his haven at this point. Sadly, the area of animalism that Tech decided to go into was not going to let him communicate with the rat directly. But he wants to make sure Patty's rat is okay. So
you do know of another Nosferatu who could probably get
Oh,
whatever
absolutely.
she's squeaking at you out.
absolutely.
But she does appear, like when she's on your shoulder, just to be a little bit more relaxed, like kind of like nestles against you.
He'll occasionally give a little scritch behind the ears.
A little happy rat noise.
But he is going to head back to his haven first and start setting up the data. Once he's got it all set up, then at that point, he will go ahead and send a text message off to the clan whip. Found Toast. Could use a hand, and just leaving it at that.
You get a response back of, "Okay, yeah, your place?" Question mark.
Yep.
And you just get a shorthand, "On my way." And then now to Rhea. Ash directs you to the University of Dallas, the more southern area. It's down past the zoo, and you do see her, like when you drive by the zoo sign, she just kind of like make a little face, cause she's had dealings with the Primogen for Clan Gangrel, and she finds herself usually down there far too often for some ridiculous reason that has no purpose for her. And when you do get there, she does direct you down to Elias's office, which is in the basement. And the door has a plaque on it that looks like it's been there for 50 years. And she kind of like hesitates to knock on the door, and then gently takes what looks like a fold-up fan out of her pocket and uses that to rap on it. And she goes, I don't know if he's changed the wards on his door, and I kind of don't want to get zapped.
Totally smart.
And then after a few moments, you do see the door open, And Elias looks the ever stereotypical professor with a bushy beard. Like, this guy looks like he stepped out of 1910. He looks at both of you, looks at Ash, and goes, "Good evening, ladies. This is unexpected." Oh, yes, Elias. Actually, we're here, cause I need to. We need to ask you a favor. At least 3 of our brains are better than 1. And she holds up the paper bag, and you see him look both of you over, and very begrudgingly moves aside, like almost like he does not want visitors. And she steps in through the door.
I follow her.
His room looks like it's a couple of rooms. It is a complete disarray. There are papers everywhere. There's like 2 sets of like chemistry equipment that just looks like they haven't been cleaned in forever. There's like pages stuck to a board and this, that, and the other. And she just visibly like recoils a bit when she sees it. She's just like, "All right, what brought you all here?" Rhea, you wanna fill him in?
Sure. So we have a mystery on our hands. We have a missing Nosferatu, and we think this blood might be a clue. And since you're the best in town, we thought maybe you could help us out. She appears to be fangirling.
He seems to almost sense that, and like you see him like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. How exactly do you know the Nosferatu's missing? You know, they can like disappear. We are very sure, Elias.
You're so funny. That was the first thing that we asked.
Ash is kind of like trying to like slightly clean up one of his desks, like by stacking his papers, and he kind of reaches over, just puts his hand on it. All right, let's see what you got. And Ash holds out the bag because she's just like, "No, I need to clean this up." And it almost looks for a second like they're going to have an argument before he just takes the bag and gives up. Right? So, this isn't a lot of blood. So you guys just want to like test to see who this is, or?
Well, we know that the one with the black ribbon is the missing Nosferatu we're looking for. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, we kind of already figured it out that the other blood is from a La Sombra, and we think that's the person we're looking for.
It's not a lot of blood, but
It's the most I could find. I tried really hard.
no, I mean you didn't do bad. Yeah, I'll give this a try. It's if it doesn't work, it's fine. So are you wanting to know location or like who it is?
Any information would be great. I mean, if we knew who the Lissaber was, you could probably find them. If there was a way to use the blood to find them, then we could figure out who they were. So, I mean, either, both,
Let me try
whichever you
something.
think would help us find them the fastest.
I feel like, do you know whose blood the Nosferatu is? Okay, so then this just needs a location. And this needs a name. I'll do the La Sombra
maybe-
first, because I don't really like them at all. You just see he
La Sombra are
turns.
creepy.
Yeah. I mean, I've had to deal with the Seneschal enough. They kind of, he'll make a bad taste of any of their clan in your mouth in 5 minutes. He does go and he gets like his little equipment and just starts attempting to try something, and he's like, "I can't promise this is going to work because it's not a lot." He puts it in a bowl a little bit, adds some of his own to it, and goes, "This could take a while, ladies. I hope you all are prepared to wait." And he does like lean over. It looks like he's speaking in a language neither of you understand. And it takes about an hour. And during that entire hour, Ash is very much cleaning up one of his desks because it has annoyed her to the point of insanity. And after a while, he looks up and goes, "Huh. Well, it's not a full success because there's not a lot here. All I really got for you is who their sire is. Uh, it's weird. It's, huh." You do see him kind of like look it over a bit more, like almost like it's perplexed him. You know, I thought he would be more careful. It's one of the two of them.
You know this Lasombra?
There are two childer of Alejandro in town. One of them is the seneschal. The other is his brother. And his brother's not supposed to be in town.
What would the seneschal or the seneschal's brother want with Patty? What would they want with a Nosferatu?
Knowing Eloise, I feel like this wouldn't be him. Feel like this is up Kieran's alley though. And you do see Ash pull out her phone and she starts texting on it. Let me try the nose, see what we got from here. And you do see he prepares another ritual.
I'm
And
taking
after
very careful note of this ritual. Very careful.
you roll me a wits and awareness or a wits and occult, whichever one's better.
Three successes.
You
My number today.
you are able to, because he's not hiding it, you are able to make notes, like mental notes in your head of how he's doing this ritual. And you do see him like after a bit, he like makes a small like tutting noise. All I can say he's in the city. I can't pinpoint exactly.
Well, I think that's good news.
Yeah. Couldn't do much more for you than that.
You've done so much.
Well, thank you. You know, it's nice to have your work appreciated. And he does look over at Ash, and she looks at him like, when have I ever offended you, sir? She is texting. You do see Maximus, you do get a text. And it is from Ash, and it says he was able to identify the blood. It's probably K. And he looks at you, Rhea, and goes, Are you new in town? Like I don't think we've met. I am Professor Elias Ravenwood. I am the primogen for Clan Tremere in the city. We should have a talk when you are done with this investigation. I feel like we could have a very interesting conversation.
Absolutely. In fact, you're the reason I'm here in town.
I am?
I didn't know if it was safe to come here without an introduction. I figured if I was going to come with the sheriff, I mean, there'd be no better time than to come. But I I don't know if you know him. I worked for another Tremere, Dr. Al. He was doing research similar to yours, and I'm here to deliver some of his research to you. He met that
We
final death,
Oh, no,
and
I did know him. He was a great man. Very, very invested into blood sorcery. Uh, wow.
he was on the verge of a breakthrough, and the last thing I'd hate is for any of his research to go to waste. So maybe when this is over, if there's a time I can come back and
Of course, and he does look around. He goes, I don't have one of those cellular devices. I am and he does gesture over to a rotary phone that is half buried in like a book and a paperwork. Let me get you one of my cards. And he does go over to his desk and like pulls out like an old-fashioned business card and hands it to you. He goes, "Please, yeah, call me. I'm free most nights. I don't teach a lot upstairs anymore."
absolutely thank you so much. Yeah, you're right. I think there's a lot we have to talk about, and I put his card in my purse.
And with that, Tech, go ahead and make me that investigation roll you wanted to make. Max,
Absolutely.
what are you going to do with this text?
First question is, since we're in the area where that where I told the man to go to, I'm not going over there, but like I'm looking to make sure that he's there because he should still be.
You see him. It looks like he's wandering around in the waiting room area.
Okay. I would call Ash. She should know better than to text a fucking Lasombra.
You do hear like it sounds like she stepped out into the hallway or they're leaving. Yes, hello, Maximus.
Okay, so tell me again what that was.
Uh, he was able to figure out who the sire for that Lasombra's blood is.
The one that we suspect kidnapped Patrick.
Yes. It is the same as Eloise's, which means it's either him or his wayward brother.
Okay, so just so that I can make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, the one that we got the blood from is the child of.
Yes, of the former Archbishop of Lords. Which, being the fact that Eloise has reminded me numerous times that he is very much dead, leaves Eloise or Kieran. And I know Eloise would not go after a Nosferatu, at least not by himself.
No, he would not send me on this fool's errand if he were involved.
Eloise is nothing if not absolutely direct when someone has upset him.
Dear God, it all makes sense. This is why Mateo didn't want Alois to know. I'm sure he suspected, which means that Kieran. Do you remember, Sheriff, that I told you that we might have a Sabbat problem in the city very soon?
Yes, I am aware of that. But Kieran is not Sabbat. He is Anarch aligned.
As far as we know.
Last time I chatted with him, he had to make a trip outside of the city because Alois doesn't want him in here, which means he's trespassing.
Exactly.
I'll let Azra know if you guys come across him or if you guys wish to find him.
There was also the remains of a death pack here here we were able to discover that from the Malkavian that Azra questioned. So this little problem might be a little bigger than little. As far as the words of the Malkavian go, they were transient, just like Remy told me, but it doesn't make sense that there were no.
What else did the Malkavian say?
That there were 4 of them. One of them was greatly injured. One of them was a doctor.
Doesn't sound like they were causing a problem. We could have just been passing through.
Sounded like they were on the run, possibly from the Inquisition.
Let me make a phone call. I'm going to see if I'm able to find something out. I need to check in with Rory. I know he was working on something I had him on.
Very well.
Can Max, Alice, and Rich. Wits and awareness. Rich, add 2 dice to this roll.
Would my sentient thing do anything?
No, this will not be sentiency. Do you have heightened senses up?
I don't have any senses.
Five successes.
Tom, you're
3.
muted.
I have 4 successes and a possible bestial failure, but I don't really know how to read this. It looks like I also had a critical, but I guess that got deleted. I'm just confused.
If you rolled only 1 10, it's just a normal success. If you rolled a 1, it doesn't matter unless there's no successes.
So you have 4 successes?
I don't I just rolled the thingy on the yeah, there's 1 with the stars next to it. There's 3 that are normal, 2 nothings, and then a red.
Then yes, you just got 4 successes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
3.
And 3. You all step outside and are heading back towards the car. And Max and Dom. You hear a very quiet noise. And for the few moments you're not able to understand what it is until a bullet whizzes past one of your heads.
Oh man.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Of course it is.
That's awesome.
Thank you all for joining us for episode 2 of Undead in Dallas. We hope you will join us next week where we can see what is going to happen.
Where the bullet lands.
Have a good night, everyone.